Go ahead and tag our reverse wire. It's one of the last steps here. You'll find the instruction guide in your kit. We're going to be showing you here. So the rev wire right here, it's going to be coming off the main harness that we just did. You're going to be stripping the end of it, probably say like 1/4 of an inch. And then there should be a P-tap in your kit. We'll show you that in just a second. So this is the P-tap here. You're going to be unscrewing the top part and the bottom part, but we'll do the top first. Unscrew it fully and stick the wire through. After that, kind of like to bend it just a little bit so it doesn't come loose. And then you're going to stuff the wire in there and tighten it. When you tighten it, you should feel it's really hard to tighten at the very end, and if you pull on it, we've got a little bit exposed here, so we're actually going to fix that. You don't want any wire exposed. You want it to all be just the purple shielding sticking out. There we go. So it's snug in there. It's making a good connection, and we don't have any wire exposed. Now we'll undo this side. And then we need to find our 24-pin plug back here, and we're looking for pin slot number 24. It should be this one. We're going to count it out. This is our 12-pin here. Or sorry, not 12, 24. 12 on top and bottom. And we're looking for pin slot number 24, which will actually be labeled on them. If you look, it'll be in the corners. We might not be able to catch it on camera because they are really small, but you'll see in the corners they're actually labeled. And it's going to be this wire, this brown one here in the corner. Since we don't have a lot of slack right here, we're actually going to just take a little bit of that tape off, just because we don't want to hurt anything. So we pulled that back a little bit, just because we don't want to tag too close to the plug here. In case the wire was damaged in any way, you don't want to damage a wire right next to the end of the plug. Like I said, extremely difficult to fix. So as you can see, we kind of put the slot around the wire there. And then on this side here, there's the pin that sticks into the actual shielding of that wire. And that'll give you that connection. So tighten that down. You just want to give it a tug, kind of wiggle it around. It's making a really good connection. So we're going to plug this back in. Alright. And then after that, you'll want to test that wire. We don't have to do it right away, but I would do it before reassembling everything. So we'll get right back to that. Alright, so we've got everything installed now. We went ahead and did the retention cable. Last thing we're going to do before we put everything back together and route the cables is test the reverse wire. I want to make sure we test it just in case something were wrong. You don't want to run all your cables somewhere that they've, somewhere nice, organize them all, and your reverse isn't hooked up properly. So we're just going to slide the radio back in and lift the cables over the top. Since we're not doing, the run now, we're just going to test. Next, we're going to take our multimeter here. We're going to set that to DC voltage. You'll see AC has the squiggly line, and then we've got DC right here with the dotted or dashed and the solid line. From there, we're going to take our 20-pin connector here, and you're going to take your red lead and put that on purple. So as you can see, purple wire is in this pin right here, and we've stuck our probe in there. Next, we're going to take the black lead and put that on ground, which is the black wire. It's not in the far corner, but it's one over from the corner. So do that. And you can set that to the side. And as you can see on the multimeter here, it's reading a little bit of voltage, but nothing, obviously substantial. And when we go in reverse, we should see that jump from 0 to 12. It should be 0 in every other gear except reverse. So, put that to the side. We're going to turn the ignition on, just so we can shift. And I'll show you on the multimeter here. I'll pull this out of the way. So reverse, 12 volts, or it'll range. I mean, our engine's off right now. We don't have anything on the battery charger right now. So we're at 11 volts. If the car were running, you'd see that be around 14, maybe 15. But as long as you're above around 10 to 15, you should be good. And then when we go back into park, you see it drops back down to 0. If we go back to reverse, 11. If we go to neutral, 0. Drive, 0. And so on. Reverse again, 11. So we do know that the VLine is getting reverse, and we can continue with the install.